we're approaching our destination.
It's over there. Sultan Mehmet Pump is over there also.
Alright, alhamdulillah, we made it. Let's continue on. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
How are you? How are
Nice to meet you.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Welcome. Assalamu alaikum. How are you?
It's the main area. You can go all over the good things and historical things from here.
All the historical places.
Yeah.
This is
the gate.
The
Yeah.
gate to go.
Yeah.
So this is the gate to all the historical places right here. Let's go see some of them.
1664 from 1664.
Silver. 1748 built. Yeah. So the main marketplace here in Istanbul, Turkey. We're heading over to the Blue Mosque. The latest news back in America, because what happens is they try to make Muslims seem like uncivilized, you know, and backwards and whatnot. But you have Istanbul here. This is like, you know, one of the only countries that's paid off it's not in debt. One of the most civilized, one of the most beautiful countries in the world.
And living in peace, Muslims and non-Muslims, Jews, Christians, Muslims,
All here,
atheists.
right?
Yeah,
Christians,
sure.
Jews, everybody.
They have their own church, synagogues, everything. It's free.
So if a Christian, we just had recently, you shared with me the Muslim woman who wanted to take a shorter lunch break.
Mm-hmm.
So she wasn't asking for more time. She was going to take it from her lunch to go and worship God, to thank God. And she ended up getting fired.
It's unbelievable things, unacceptable. No one can do this in Turkey. If he do, then everybody question him why he do this. Most of the people is Muslim in this country, and if you are a Christian and if you ask your boss, I'm a Christian and I want my own chapel here, he do it.
Yeah.
Because he respects it, he tolerates different beliefs, different faiths, no problem. And see himself or herself as a representative of the civilized West. How can they do such things that prohibiting practicing the faith of his own beliefs? Yeah.
So you can
Unacceptable.
you can give from big examples to small examples. One of the things I notice, you know, is when people talk about being uncivilized, you know, it's a small thing, but a big thing is hygiene, right? Not only do we worship God alone, you know, on the pure monotheism, purity. One thing that came to mind is when you go to the toilets here, you know, in Bosnia, you have the water that's coming out. You know, this is a state of being pure, being clean. So people want to call Muslims uncivilized. You know,
Just look at the toilets.
just look at the toilets.
You can see it and understand it.
Yeah.
The deep civilization of the Muslims.
Yeah. And that's why we're here, bringing you tastes of it, pieces of it in Istanbul. Stay tuned in. What are we coming up to now? This is this is Ahmed Sultan.
Yeah,
Sultan
Ahmed's
Sultan Ahmed Mosque.
Yeah, mosque is here. This is the Sultan Ahmed Square. Now we will see this mosque, then Hagia Sophia Mosque. After the Sophia Mosque, you can see the Topkapı Palace gate.
Islam is a gift. It's a gift from the Almighty for you. So when you get beyond all the media hype and all the false propaganda and you really look into Islam, you'll really get to appreciate that gift that the Creator has given for you as a mercy to the world.
Biggest mosque in Istanbul, but it's now museum. Ottoman.
So this was the biggest masjid in Istanbul, but they turned it into a...
Ottomans was in a race with the Byzantium architectures. They tried to build bigger mosques than it, but they only managed it 200 years after they conquered Istanbul.
Who turned it into a museum?
Conqueror Mehmet, Sultan Mehmet conqueror.
Turned it into a museum?
Atatürk. It's kubbe. The roof is bigger than Hagia Sophia. But in Istanbul, the biggest mosque is Hagia Sophia now.
Over here you got some really important information. And this is information, if pondered over, reflected, this is the light, this is the gift for humanity. The oneness of Allah, of the Creator, the purpose of life, all of this. I love seeing this here at this Blue Mosque. Inshallah, they can add this at other masjids, like in Bosnia, the main masjid there, Begava Mosque, can add this, something like this, an information area where you have the 5 pillars explained, the articles of faith, and other very important pieces of information that people can really get to know what Islam is all about. And that's only through the correct knowledge.
YouTube.
Nice to meet you. Here you have, check this one out here. This is real beautiful. One God, one humanity, one deen, many prophets. They all came with this way of life that we live, Islam. Submission to the one God, the Creator, and not the creation. And then we have over here the 5 pillars. 5 pillars of Islam explained. And the list goes on. This is very beautiful to see, very important, because you can see all the artifacts, you can see all in the museums, and the swords and all the other things that are preserved and say that they have here. But the most important thing, none of those things is going to bring you any benefit. It may be nice to see, but the thing that will bring you benefit is the truth. The truth that has been sent from the Creator as a mercy to mankind, and that's this deen, this way of life of Islam.